That game on New Year's Day will be played in Miami. It'll be here on NBC. That meeting in the Orange Bowl between once defeated Oklahoma and unbeaten Florida State. It'll feature the collision of two gifted coaches, both of whom are with us today, Barry Switzer of Oklahoma and Bobby Bowden of Florida State, and two gifted football players, Billy Sims of Oklahoma and Ron Simmons of Florida State. This is Billy Sims in action, number 20. Came in second this year in the Heisman Trophy voting. He was the winner of the Heisman Trophy last year. And this is Ron Simmons, the nose guard for Florida State, making a play here, which shows what he does to running backs. Ron, could you take a look here at Billy running and tell me what you're going to do to him on New Year's Day? How do you stop that number 20?
Well, I can't see any way possible from the way he's running it right there. I think it's going to take 11.
Take 11. You probably won't even bother to show up then in Miami.
Well, I think I'll be there, but I'm going to be there along with 10 others, I can say.
Well, you didn't have too much help on that one. Billy, how about, could you describe, yourself here? Do you enjoy watching yourself run?
Sometimes when I look back, it's very amazing with the things that I do with the football. But while I'm out there, the work and everything is pretty hard. But as long as I got guys up front blocking for me like the lineman I have, can make it possible.
Here we'll show a little bit more of Ron Simmons doing the kind of work that he loves to do to show running backs that he's their friend. I feel a little uncomfortable just sitting between the two of you watching this, because if either of you gets excited, I'm dead. And one more hit there for Ron Simmons. Bobby Bowden, coach of Florida State. Florida State had some tough seasons before you got there 4 years ago. What's turned the program around, 11-0 this year?
Well, Florida State has a lot of potential because it's in Florida, Dick. It's attractive to young men, and the state of Florida has good football players. There's 9 million people there, and that's a lot in the South, and there's a lot of good players there.
In Oklahoma, Barry, of course, Oklahoma hasn't had much of a football winning tradition, only for about 70 or 80 years. How do you keep coming up with players like Billy Sims?
Well, we're close enough to Texas, Dick, that we can recruit good players. We've built a great tradition in Oklahoma with the high school football players from the state of Oklahoma, plus our proximity is close enough to a great state of Texas where we were able to recruit outstanding players from there.
You two guys are going to be colliding, literally colliding on New Year's Day. And you just met yesterday. You've known each other for 24 hours now. Billy, what do you think of Ron? Is he a nice fella?
I think he is, but, once we put those uniforms on, it'll have to be a different story then. That's why I'm trying to get to really know the guy before we meet up in Miami on New Year's night.
How do you feel about that, Ron?
Oh, since I've known him, I could, think of that. We've been playing together, but like he said, once, we're out there on the field, it's a totally different story. And we're out there with the same intention, and that's to win the football game.
You mean you like him so much you can't wait to New Year's Day to put your arms around him?
Well, I like him, but, once, like you said, once you put those pads on, there isn't too much love between each other.
Do you try to psych yourself up? Do you look at Billy Sims and say, I'm going to hit him as hard as I can on New Year's Day?
Well, I don't personally take a grudge toward him just like that because he's an outstanding back. I go into each game thinking, and doing the same thing to anyone that happens, be carrying the ball, whether he's a great running back or just average. And, we'll be playing against him, and whatever it takes to win the football game, that's what type of effort I'll be putting out.
How do you feel about linemen generally, nose guards particularly?
Sometimes they scare me if they're good as Ron, and I'm going to try to watch and find out which way he slants so I can run the other way. And I think, our offensive center's going to have, a good day trying to stop him.
You came in second this year in the Heisman Trophy voting. You came in behind Charles White the other day. Was it very disappointing?
Not really, due to the fact that we had a young team, and I had an outstanding season with a young team, and I think Charles White was well, honored for winning the Heisman Trophy. I have a lot of respect for him. I won it last year, and so I'm very happy with the one that I have. You said, or at least I saw you quoted, that you would have voted for Charles White this year. Is that true? Definitely. The way his season was going as an individual performer and a team player, that I think he deserved to win the Heisman Trophy. Ron, you were the only player in the top 10 who was a lineman. How did that feel?
Well, it felt to me just like I had won the Heisman, just even being in contention for it. And, just to be associated with players like Sims and White, it's a great honor for me to be anywhere near them.
Coach, how do you feel knowing that you've got Ron Simmons back next year?
I feel much more secure than if I didn't, much more.
Describe him as a footballer. What makes him so good?
He's got everything it takes. He's got strength. He's got speed. He's got great desire to play football. He is a good man. He's very dependable. Loves to play football.
Barry, you've been watching the films. How tough is he?
He's a great player. One of the super football players, interior linemen in the country today, Dick. I think of the Selman brothers at Oklahoma, and Ron is the same type of player. He's got great strength, quickness, and speed, and super competitor.
I think I should mention that earlier when we were watching the discussion on Iran, you said the best solution to the crisis would be to send the Selman brothers over to Iran.
Take care of them today.
Yeah, that would ruin the Tampa Bay football team, though. Billy, tell me, what's going to happen on New Year's Day? How are you going to do?
Hopefully we'll come out with a victory in our hand. Hopefully we have a clean-cut football, and I'm pretty sure, Florida State looking for the same thing. But after it's all over and said and done, Ron and I will be best of friends, hopefully.
I'm sure it'll be a perfect way to spend New Year's night watching Florida State against Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl and here on NBC. And now, back to Jane Pauley.